Evening members, how are you doing there? And how is life taking you? Once again, I welcome you to this class of today, and we are discussing elements of mathematics. Typically, we are given a question. But before I go any further, my name is Barnes Sabat. That is my number, and that is my student number. We have been tackling more chapters under elements of mathematics. But typically I was assigned with a question which is clearly stated on the chalkboard. The question goes, use the division algorithm to find Q and R such that A is equal to B into Q plus R. I think my learners, we previously discussed something about division algorithm. And we know something about it. But of course, when I want to take you back about this, now, division algorithm itself, it states that, of course, we have two integers. We have two integers, that's A, which is the dividend, and typically B, which is the divisor, and these two integers, they must give us this expression, and the expression is A equals to B into Q plus R. And for us, we have two integers, A and B. Now, we are bringing this expression of A into B, A equals B into Q plus R, where our Q is the quotient, that's the number you get after dividing the dividend to the divisor. And of course, this R is the remainder that we get after dividing the dividend A on the divisor B. And technically, it should be that our B must not be equal to 0. And it gives us this expression that our remainder should be greater or equal to 0, but of course less or equal to our B. Generally, this is how we use this division logarithm. It states that we have two integers, where A is the dividend and B is the divisor. Of course, with B not equaling to 0, and therefore we shall get two unique integers. That is Q, which is the coefficient, the number we get after dividing the dividend, the divisor. And of course, when you divide, we must have a remainder. So we are getting two unique integers of Q, the quotient, and R, the remainder. And from there, we get this expression. And in these expressions, normally, since it's division algorithm, it means we are doing more of dividing. And that's why we can see on this number, use the division algorithm to find Q and R such that A equals to, now our expression comes in here, that's how it comes, where we are given Roman 1. A equals to 25 and B equals to 7. Now class, we need to understand this. Roman 1, let's go together. Now, we are saying our A equals to 25 and our B equals to 7. Now, I've said typically we are dividing. Now, let me take you back to primary. If we are dividing, now, we have said A is the dividend, the number that divides the divisor, and B is the number that is divided by the dividend. And in this case, when you look here, it means where there is A, we shall put 25, and where there is B, we are putting 7. Altogether, class, are you following me? We will be going together. Now, we are replacing A, it is getting 25, and we are replacing B as 7. Normally, class, when you divide 25 by 7, typically, when you go to, of course, multiples of 7, we have 7. If I want to simplify multiples of 7, we have 7, we have 14, we have 21. When you look at this, it means when you divide this, we shall get 21. Now, when you get 21 here, I've talked about multiples of 7, then 14, 21. It means, when you take it back, multiples of 7, 14, 21. This is 1, 2, 3. It means this 21 is divided in 7 3 times. And when you take this 21, 3 times, you're getting 3. When you get 3 times 7, we are getting 21. 5 minus 1, 4. Then 2 minus 2 is 0. So from this, technically, we have our A as 25. We have our B as 7. And I've said the quotient Q is the answer we get after dividing the dividend to the divisor. So this becomes our our Q, the quotient. And of course, I have said after dividing, you have the remainder. Now, this is our I. Now, finally, we can fill the expression, which was A is equal to B into Q plus I. And then we shall have, just remember, we shall have our A is 25. Our B is 7. Into, what's the quotient? 3. Then plus our remainder, which is 4. My friends, this is now how the expression comes. And we have really answered this because I've said it must be A, this is our A. It must be B, this is our B. It must be Q, this is our quotient. And we have the remainder. And from here, as I said, our 0, our R, the remainder, must be less or equal to 0. Okay? But also less or equal to B, which is 7. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we answer this. And this is how we can get expression. Now, members, have you understood? Are we moving together? Now, I'll do only the second one. After doing that, then I'll leave the two numbers for you as a practice exercise. Now, members, let me come back here. 102 says A equals to 9 and B equals to 4. And therefore, as we have done in this Roman 1, okay, if we are dividing, we have said our A is the dividend, then B is the divisor. Now, if I typically substitute this into what we have here, our A becomes 9 and our B becomes 4. Now, as we know, class, when you get 9 divided by 4, what do we get? 9 divided by 4. 2. You can tell me, class. 2. Now, 2. Then 2 times 4 is 8. And when you get, of course, 9 minus 8, we are getting 1. Now, for the first one, we know this one is our dividend A. Our 4 becomes the divisor. And we have said that the answer we get after division becomes the quotient. This is Q. And automatically, we are likely to have a remainder, which is R. Now, that remainder takes us back to our expression, as we have said. Now, A equals to B into Q plus R. Remember, if we go together with the letters, each letter will be substituted by the number here. As you can see, A goes with 9, plus B goes with 4, plus Q goes with 2, altogether plus. And then our remainder is here, it is 1. And the final expression is 9 equals to 4 into 2, then plus 1. But what cannot forget our range here, that our remainder must be, of course, less or equal to 0. And of course, it must be greater or equal to 0, but less or equal to our b. And our b from here is a 4. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have discussed through these two examples, hopefully, I know you have understood. And you are going to use that knowledge as I discussed in Roman 1 and Roman 2. And students, you are going to continue and finish Roman 3 and Roman 4. Ladies and gentlemen, that was my time. I wish you the best of the day and good evening. Thank you so much.